Hello, my name is Johan Jordaan. I'm 25 and I am from Waterkloof, AGS, all the way in Gauteng. Now this is where my story starts, and this story began in 1995. It was very difficult for my parents. We grew up extremely poor. It was so poor that sometimes if you want to take milk into your cereal and pieces fall out, it was really great because it's something new. The story of my life was difficult, but it was fun. I had a lot of good moments, I have a lot of sad moments, and it was a lot to learn. I grew up in a Christian home, I grew up in church. It was a wonderful time, but it didn't make me a Christian. It didn't make me the choice to become a Christ follower. I always thought because of what I do, I'm already there. One day we joined this church called Bloemfontein Baptist Kerk. It's one of the biggest South African Afrikaans churches that there is. And they showed me the love of Jesus, what He's done in my life and what He can do even through the difficult times. But that didn't make me a Christian. And from there we moved to Cape Town, and I had this good Christian backing of this church and these people, and I had to start from scratch anew. And my life started to fall apart. But that was my choice with the friends and people that I surrounded myself with. And it got more difficult and more difficult. And again, we were volunteering as a church. I was playing drums, I was serving, and I was helping a lot. So I thought, me with Christ, everything should be better, shouldn't it? And life got its ups and downs. I would go to youth, I would cry my eyes out. And then I would say, Jesus, my life is yours. And for 2 weeks on, it went great. And the third week, I'll just forget about everything. And then a month later or so, I will go again to youth and I would cry and say, Lord, my life is yours. And this cycle went on and on and on. Every time I made a mistake, I told God, I will give you my life. I will stop doing what I'm doing. Help me with this. Or when I made a mistake, Lord, please don't tell my mom. And I will read Bible some more. And it just went on and on. And as I got older, I was already a part of the team. I was telling people about my testimony of my sports and parkour and free running and jumping over rooftops, because that helped me to build my relationship with Christ. But again, I got tired of debating and negotiating with Christ of every mistake, of everything that I'm doing. Because then I'll now go back and say, but Lord, I'm volunteering at this church. I'm helping people. I'm teaching people about your word. Can you do this for me? And one day, I just had enough. It was a really tough time, and I made a few terrible mistakes. And I went up this mountain called Jonkershoek in Stellenbosch with my bicycle on my back because I did downhill. And I walked up to the top, and it was just me and God. It was just us. There was no lights or music to help the mood. There was no pastor sitting next to me with everything encouraging me to give my life away. It was just me and Jesus and nature and the sounds of the wind going through the mountains. And I am tired. And I was tired. And I sat there with Christ, and the story of Paul came to mind. Paul, Saul. And how God can love a man that persecuted Christians. And he gave his life, and he wrote basically the whole New Testament and told so many people about Jesus loves us and gave everything to us. And I remember the story of God loving him, even though everything that he has done. And God is telling me at that moment, remember, if I can love him, I can love you with all your mistakes, with all your sorrows, with all the chains that you're carrying with you, with all the heaviness on your back, and even with your tiredness. And the reason why I was tired, because I was negotiating my life away. And I told Christ at that spot, I was like, Lord, I'm tired. I'm done. I don't want to do this anymore. I'm giving you everything. I'm giving you everything. And that is exactly what I did. So it wasn't a religion anymore. I'm not going back to God anymore saying, hey, but I'm doing godly things. Please help me. It became a relationship. It became this wonderful glory walking with Him. When I pray, I say, Lord, please let me walk where you are walking. Let me use my hands as you would use your hands. Please let me use my words as you would, with love and grace. And Lord, let me use my eyes as you would. Seeing people in need. Seeing people who have sorrow and sadness. Seeing people for who God sees them. Not us with our human nature. Because following Christ, it's not a negotiation. It's not a religion. It's not ticking off your boxes and saying, cool, I've done this, so I'm going to heaven. It's a relationship. It's going into the Bible not because you need to, and yes, we do need to, because it gives us the sustainability that we need. But I'm reading the Bible because I want to know more of Jesus. Because at that moment, my life flipped upside down. At that moment, happiness came from within and not the need for what I do or what other people think or thought or want me to be, or the approval of my friends or my family. My happiness came from Christ. My peace came from Christ. Because He says this in John 16 verse 33. And He says this to His disciples, and He's telling me and He's telling you today. I have told you these things, so that in me you may have peace. In this world you will have trouble, but take heart, I have overcome the world. So where can you find your peace? I wanted to challenge you, just as I challenge myself, to be alone with Christ. Go to your mountain. It can be at your backyard, it can be anywhere, but just you and Him. Because are you tired? You need to do something about it.